Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's 3 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. I wasn't even going to talk about this. This just popped into my mind, but I want to talk about yesterday a little bit. Once in a great while, maybe once every month or two, I just have a dry day where I just don't have, I'm just not inspired. I just don't find a story that I'm motivated talking about. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. And yesterday was one of those days. Later in the morning, I got that idea about the retro uh, video, the video I did, and it seemed like a great idea. I rushed to do it. It was a lot of editing. It took me like 2 hours to make that video. And when I watched it back over after, I was like, "Oh, this video sucks. It really does." Hey, I apologize. I do. I apologize to you guys. I don't know what else to say. Some days I just don't hit it on the some days I just I don't feel it, man. Today's not one of those days. Okay, I came across a story, and there's a bit of a problem with it when I first found it. It's about a ring cam, like at somebody's door, watching outside somebody's door, and it was on Halloween. This is in Texas, and it's about a bowl of candy, an honor bowl. It's a huge bowl filled to the top with candy bars, and it's a short video. And when I first saw this, I really wanted to talk about it, but I didn't know, there's I was challenged to how much I could talk about. It's just like a 10-second, 20-second video at the most, and how much could I say about it? But as today's one of those days where I am motivated, and I came up with some analogies and some examples and some other data that I want to talk about that I find very interesting. Okay, let me start at the very beginning here. This video, the link's down below. It's from TMZ and it's from Halloween night. It's in Texas. It doesn't say what city or what town or county or whatever in Texas, but it is the home of musician Cody Tate, and it looks like a very nice, expensive home, which it's neither here nor there. And he wanted to watch the World Series. And so he didn't want to be, he wanted to give kids the candy for Halloween, but he didn't want to be bothered really. So he put out an honor bowl, like a big, huge bowl, like a cauldron of candy bars. And I tried to zoom in too, and I think these are actually very big, generous candy bars in this bowl, like full size candy bars, like Reese's, Butterfingers, Milky Ways, and all the. I actually looked up the calorie content too, but don't let me get ahead of myself. Okay, now here's where it gets ugly. The video cam, he caught this on video. It looks like three mothers and their children. They come running up, right? And they're a little hefty. I'll just say that. And they definitely, I was trying to determine, are these older sisters maybe or aunts? They look like mothers. They look like the mothers of these children. And they come running up. The mothers are actually in front, these three mothers, and they come running up and just start double fisting into this candy bowl. Now, musician Cody Tate, who plays for the band Whiskey Myers. I have to YouTube, but I'm gonna see if I can put a link of some. I'll see if I can find some of his music. I'm just curious to hear what kind of music he plays. I'll put a link down below if I find it. And so these three mothers and their children, like maybe about 5 children, come running up with the mothers in front, and they just start double-handing, grabbing handfuls. Now, he put a sign out saying, "Please take one, just take one," like an honor bowl. And these three mothers and their families, their kids come running up, and they're just grabbing these things. They empty an entire bowl. There had to be, if I had to guess, I'd say there was at least 40 to 50 candy bars, at least, in this bowl. And they literally double fist and fill their bags up. And you hear the kids squealing, and they're doing this in front of their kids. It's such an example of being selfish. And I think about what happened. There's a guy in the back, and I don't think he's part of this group. If you watch the video, and he's trying to reach in this grabbing frenzy, and his child is further back. I don't think he's with the three mothers, and he manages to get his hands on a couple before the bowl's empty, and he goes back and gives it to his child. And then once the bowl's empty, and the piranhas, the chocolate piranha mothers and their kids kind of back away from the empty bowl, he comes back and he just looks in the bowl and it's empty. I don't know if he maybe needed more for his kids, or he just was going to help clean out the bowl. I don't know what his intentions are. I don't know if he was included in this bunch. But as I watch this, I start thinking about it, and the selfishness to do this in front of your kids, to teach your kids this, and you start to get angry. But the more I thought about it, like I said, I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about. So I started thinking about this. And when you look at it from a different angle, karma and justice is already taking its toll on these people. Because you look at those, look how many candy bars each of them are grabbing. And I looked this up. Texas is the most obese, is the 12th most obese state in the nation. Not only that, it doesn't say what town or city this is, this ring cam is in, but the McAllen Metro is the fattest city, the most obese city in the United States, the McAllen Metro. So I'd be amazed. I'm very curious if musician Cody Tate and his band Whiskey Myers is anywhere near the McAllen Metro. Here's another interesting thing I came across. I'll link down below for the most obese states in the nation. By the way, I think 4 out of 10 Americans is overweight. I noticed this the other day when I was looking at my Facebook pages, my Facebook profile, and there was all pictures of the people I went to school with. And I'd say 8 out of the 10 guys my age are obese. And I had a problem with weight myself. If it wasn't for recovery, I would have never lost the weight. So I kind of owe my being physically fit to actually getting in recovery. And here's the thing too, this kind of reminds me of recovery, of something I learned, something I noticed in recovery. So stick with me here. I used to, like in the first year or two, like around the holidays was hard, but it was hard, staying clean and sober, because I was used to going out. Like the night before Thanksgiving was one of the hard nights to deal with, because the night before Thanksgiving, everybody usually goes out and you see all your high school friends at the bar. You go out to eat and drink the night before Thanksgiving, and I no longer drink. And this is one of the things that made me look at it from a different angle. So I instead of going out to drink and eat and do all that stuff, I would go home and I'd go to bed early. And I'd get up like I do now. I had this routine where I get up at like 5 a.m. in the morning. So Thanksgiving Day, for the last 17 years, I've gotten up at like 4, or now I get up at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. and I work out. And I think about, what I thought I was missing out on the night before, all the eating and drinking. Now, those people are still in bed with hangovers, feeling terrible, bloated, overweight, nauseous. And I'm up exercising. So in the long run, you have to look at, are you really missing out on something? And that's the way I decided to look at this film, this video of these mothers rating this chocolate bowl. Because at first you look at it and you think, how unfair for the other kids. There's not one piece, there's no candy left for the other kids. Where's the justice? How could these people do this? And actually, karma and justice is taking its toll. It's self-imposed on these people, because what they're doing. You figure when they go home with this candy, what's going to happen? Now, if they're grabbing this candy by the double fisting it and grabbing it by the handful, what do you think is going to happen when they get home? Are they going to put it in the cupboard and portion it out to their kids one at a time, or eat it just like one bar every night for themselves? No, not this type of person. They're going to have a feast. They're going to go through all this chocolate in one night. And what do you think is going to happen the next morning? How are they going to feel? How are they going to look? And not to mention, being overweight is the cause of one of the biggest causes of type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and cancer. So like I said, I'm not wishing bad on people like this, but the karma and the justice is already kind of included in this kind of action. Let me know what you think. There's actually candy bowls here. Like there's about 150 apartments in this big complex that I live in, and people put candy bowls outside by their doors, and we have little peepholes on the doors here too. And I feel kind of awkward even just taking one piece of candy. Like, I just take one and I feel like I'm doing something wrong. I can't imagine cleaning out the whole bowl. I don't know. Like I said, the top 10 most obese states in the nation, almost every single one of them, I think every single one of them, the link will be down below, is a red Republican state. The leanest states are actually the two location on the East Coast over here in New England and New York area, and the California area. The Democrat areas are the least obese or the most fit people in the nation. Something to think about. All right, you guys, I'll be back later with another video. You guys, the links will be down below. Have a good Thursday.